Quite literally arrested for a meme. What else would you expect?
It's 2021.
Viva Frei, Montreal litigator turned YouTuber, and yesterday my DMs, my email, my messages were put on blast because yes, it finally happened. Someone in the United States was officially arrested for a meme. I had never heard of this individual before reading through the complaint and affidavit in support of the arrest warrant. The individual's name is Douglas Massey, aka Ricky Vaughn, and he has officially been arrested for memes that he prepared in the context of the 2016 elections on the basis that these memes interfered with the election process. The headlines across social media were "meme maker arrested for a meme," but having read through the affidavit, there is a little more nuance to the situation, and it really does highlight the distinction between free speech and protected speech. For those of you who have been around my channel for long enough, you know I am a firm believer, an unapologetic believer in freedom of speech, but as you also know, I do draw the line at certain types of speech, such as targeted harassment, death threats, doxing, etc. At times, I do have trouble reconciling these two seemingly conflicting beliefs. I do believe everyone should have the right to speak their mind, to share their thoughts without censorship and without fear of reprisal. That being said, I don't think people should be allowed to go out and make death threats, dox people, commit acts of fraud under the basis that it's freedom of speech. I don't care how much of a proponent of free speech a person is. I don't think very many people are going to accept the argument that if someone sells you a bar of gold or sells you what they warrant is a bar of gold, they tell you that they are selling you a bar of gold, but it turns out to be a bar of pyrite, also known as fool's gold, that they can hide behind the free speech argument. I know I just defrauded you out of something by telling you it was something that it wasn't when I sold it to you, but freedom of speech, too bad, so sad, your loss. So in my own mind, I do have trouble reconciling these seemingly incompatible beliefs, one in freedom of speech and the other in certain types of speech that do not need to be protected, and it was only when discussing this with my friend Nate Brody, going over some of the issues of this affidavit, which I will get into as we read through it, that he explained to me there is a difference between freedom of speech and protected speech. Nate the lawyer, for those of you who may not know, has his own YouTube channel. He used to be a cop, he became a lawyer, he used to teach law, and now he's making YouTube law-related videos. We have become actually quite good friends, and I was asking him a few questions on this complaint and affidavit in support of an arrest warrant before making this video, and he said to me, "Dave, when I taught law, I told my students you have to think of it not as free speech, but as protected speech." That is the material distinction. What speech is protected and what speech is not protected, because certain types of speech is simply not protected. And that is going to be the important question of law and politics that is going to come out of this arrest, because this arrest does indeed raise questions as to what is protected speech and what is not. With that said, let's get into the complaint and affidavit in support of an arrest warrant. United States of America against Douglas Mackey, also known as Ricky Vaughn, defendant. Complaint and affidavit in support of an arrest warrant, 18 U.S.C. Section 241. In or about and between September 2016 and November 2016, both dates being approximate and inclusive, in the Eastern District of New York and elsewhere, the defendant Douglas Mackey, also known as Ricky Vaughn, together with others, conspired to injure, oppress, threaten, and intimidate persons in the free exercise and enjoyment of a right and privilege secured to them by the Constitution and laws of the United States, to wit, the right to vote, in violation of Title 18, United States Code, Section 241. And just for the exercise, 18 U.S.C. Section 241 reads as follows. If two or more persons conspire to injure, oppress, threaten, or intimidate any person in any state, territory, commonwealth, possession, or district in the free exercise or enjoyment of any right or privilege secured to him by the Constitution or laws of the United States, or because of his having so exercised the same, or if two or more persons go in disguise on the highway, well, this clearly does not apply, they shall be fined under this title or imprisoned not more than 10 years or both. All right, so that is the intro and that is the applicable law, but what is at issue here? I kid you not, the issue here is literally memes. It is literally memes to the point that the word meme needs to be defined in the complaint and affidavit. Background. In or about 2016, Mackey, working with other individuals described in greater detail below, made coordinated use of social media to spread disinformation relevant to the impending 2016 presidential election. The disinformation spread by these individuals often took the form of, quote, memes. And you will notice there is a nice little footnote there. Let's just go see what the footnote says, shall we? In the context of internet activity, a, quote, meme refers to, quote, an amusing or interesting item, such as a captioned picture or video, or genre of items that is spread widely online, especially through social media, end quote. Meme, Merriam-Webster Dictionary, available at www.merriam-webster.com/dictionary/meme. Now, we can skip through a lot of the details in this complaint and affidavit. The bottom line is that this individual named Douglas Massey, aka Ricky Vaughn, that was his Twitter handle name, in conjunction with other people, decided to use Twitter, social media, Facebook, to create memes to tell people to vote by text, to tell people to vote by social media, to tell people to vote in ways that would obviously disqualify their vote because they would be unlawful means of voting. Probable cause: use of social media platforms. During the time period relevant to this complaint, Mackey and his co-conspirators were users of Twitter, among other social media platforms. Users of Twitter can, quote, tweet messages or pictures, also referred to as tweets, which display on a, quote, timeline, a real-time stream of tweets shared by other accounts the user follows. The complaint goes on to explain how Twitter works in greater detail, how Douglas Massey, aka Ricky Vaughn, amassed something of a large following of 58,000 followers on Twitter, how he had his accounts shut down only to open another one, only to have that one shut down, only to open another one. Ricky Vaughn's Twitter accounts were apparently shut down for violating Twitter's terms of service. On or about October 5, 2016, Twitter suspended Mackey account 1 for violating Twitter's rules, specifically for, quote, participating in targeted abuse, end quote. On or about October 8, 2016, approximately 3 days after Mackey account 1 was suspended, an associate of Mackey, the, quote, associate, created Mackey account 2 and subsequently transferred control of the account to Mackey. Mackey account 2 had more than 9,000 followers on or about November 2, 2016, when Twitter suspended Mackey account 2. The complaint goes on to allege how Massey and his associates were using social media, Twitter hashtags to influence the election, but ultimately the complaint really only takes issue with certain types of memes. The memes where Massey was telling people to vote by text on social media in unlawful or invalid manners that would disenfranchise people of the right to vote if they were to have voted that way. Dissemination of disinformation about voting. Starting in or around September 2016, Mackey and his co-conspirators began discussing, designing, and circulating memes related to the time, place, and manner of voting. These memes, among other things, falsely claimed that supporters of the candidate could cast a vote in the election by posting on Facebook or Twitter, or by sending a text message to a specified text code. Hereinafter described categorically as, quote, deceptive images, end quote. Contemporaneous communications between and among Mackey and his co-conspirators demonstrate that the goal of the deceptive images was to influence viewers of the deceptive images to vote in a legally invalid manner. These discussions frequently took place over DMs and group DMs. The complaint itself, for some reason, doesn't seem to include actual images of the impugned memes, but it does include allegations of some of the text that was allegedly found in some of those memes, and I'm just going to read one by way of example. On or about October 16, 2016, co-conspirator 4 posted a deceptive image to the Madman group. The deceptive image posted by co-conspirator 4 included a photo of the candidate with the following text, quote, your vote matters, and now it's easier than ever to cast your vote. Simply post candidate name with vice president candidate name with the hashtag presidential election on your Facebook or Twitter account between 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on November 8th, 2016. Together we can defeat candidate 2 and elect candidate, end quote. By way of another example, the complaint alleges as follows. On or about October 30, 2016, co-conspirator 2 tweeted the following. Quote, remember at candidate voters, on November 8th, you can vote from home by hashtag tweeting hashtag candidate's first name. This is only set up for at the candidate voters, end quote. This tweet was retweeted 151 times. Now, I don't know if whoever drafted this complaint thinks that a tweet that was retweeted 151 times means that that tweet was retweeted a lot or a little, but it's alleged. Now, I can hear a lot of you screaming through your computer screens that if someone is too stupid to know how to vote, they don't deserve to have their vote count in the first place.
Stupid! You're so stupid!
I can hear a ton of you screaming if someone is so gullible that they actually think you can vote by text or by way of the candidate's name on social media. That is too bad for them. That is not a crime. I hear that. I respect that. I might even understand that to some degree, but I had to actually go see what these tweets, what these images looked like to get a better idea for myself. And when I saw them, it's not quite as black and white as the headlines make it seem to be. Now, full disclosure, cover my tushy in case I made a mistake. I am not 1000% certain that these tweets are the tweets at issue. From the research that I was able to do online, from the articles written on the subject, these seem to be the tweets. And when you look at these tweets, it might change your mind, it might not change your mind. Save time, avoid the line, vote from home. Text, quote, Hillary to 59925 and we'll make history together this November 8th. But the most important part, where people might think we have actually crossed the line from meme to actual fraud, is found at the bottom of that image. And that fine print reads as follows. Must be 18 or older to vote. 1 vote per person. Must be a legal citizen of the United States. Vote by text not available in Guam, Puerto Rico, Alaska, or Hawaii. paid for by Hillary Clinton for President 2016, with the Hillary logo. And then we see pretty much the exact same thing in a meme in Spanish. And this raises the question, is this a meme? Is this a joke? Is this protected speech, or is this actually just fraud? Because it's not enough for the complaint to allege that Mackey made the deceptive images, they also need to allege that people were affected and people had their rights violated. The complaint actually goes on to allege that in the end. Text code records. According to iVision Mobile, the company that owned the text code listed in the 2 deceptive images distributed by Mackey, at least 4,900 unique telephone numbers texted, quote, candidate's first name or some derivative to the text code on or about and before Election Day, including many belonging to individuals located in the Eastern District of New York. Of the approximately 4,900 numbers that corresponded with the text code, approximately 4,850, or 99%, sent their texts after Mackey first tweeted a deceptive image from Mackey account 2. That is the complaint. It is 2021 and an individual in the United States was actually arrested for a meme. The prosecution may very well be political. The timing certainly is weird that it took 4 years to draft and file this complaint and obtain an arrest warrant, which just so happened to have occurred in the first 2 weeks of Joe Biden's presidency. It may indeed be, and in fact probably is, totally political, but there is nonetheless a very serious question of law here. Are those memes protected speech, or are they not protected speech and just outright fraud? To be determined. I will certainly be discussing this with Robert Barnes during our next live stream. And with that said, if you like my videos and you like my content, please be sure to like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, drop a comment in the comment section below because it feeds the algorithm.
Marge, I'd like to be alone with the sandwich for a moment.
Are you going to eat it?
Yes.
If you want to support the channel, all of these support links are in the pinned comment. We've got PayPal, Patreon, Subscribestar, YouTube membership. Robert Barnes and I have a page on locals. It is called vivabarneslaw.locals.com, and everybody who supports the channel gets sneak peeks of my vlogs in as much as possible. You can also find all of my content on Rumble under my same name, Viva Frei, but more important than any of that, take care of yourselves, check in on friends and family, make sure everyone around you is doing well, and now you know your vlog. Peace out. Booyah!